Hello everyone. Tonight we're doing Module 2, Lesson 18. It's going to be very similar to last night's lesson. We're using basic facts, which I'm going to refer to as compatible numbers, to estimate quotients with two-digit divisors. Let's divide 8,095 by 23, and we're going to find an estimate. So the first thing we want to do, as you recall from last night's lesson, is round the divisor. And the reason we do this is so we can find a compatible number. It's a number that is easily divisible. So we're going to take 23 and round that down to 20. And then I want to think of a compatible number. Now I'm going to be thinking of this as a 2 instead of a 20. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So of course that means that I would like to round my dividend to a number that has an 8 times an exponent of 10, because now I know that it's going to be evenly divisible. So once I've done that, I know that 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. But I need to figure out what place my 4 is in. So I'm going to think of this as 8 times 1,000. And I'm dividing it by 2 times 10. And I'm going to divide everything, since I have my 10 is my unit here, I'm going to divide everything by 10. So 8 times 1,000, 1,000 divided by 10 is going to be 100. So it's going to be the same as 800 divided by 2. And if I divide this 10 over here by 10, of course, it's just 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. And 800 divided by 2 should be 400. So that tells me that this 4 for my compatible numbers, my basic fact family, is going to be in the hundreds place. Now I showed some of you a trick in class today or yesterday, and with the zeros. So I'm going to use that trick to kind of double check myself. Even though I've been doing division in math for a long time, I always use two methods to check that my answer is correct and my digits are in the right place. So I've used one method, and now I'm going to think, okay, there's 1 0 in my dividend, so I'm going to cross that off. And now I'm going to cross off 1 0 in my divisor as well. And that shows me that my answer should be in the hundreds, because I have 800 divided by 2 equals 400. And right here I showed you why that works. So I don't want you to just use the trick, but you can use the trick at the end to check yourself. And that way, if you see a disparity, you can go back and rework it and make sure that you do it the right way. All right, now it's your turn. I would like you to remember that you must round the divisor first, and of course you're going to estimate. We're not finding the exact number here, we're making an estimate. So round the divisor first, and then use that to help you find a compatible number. Think of your basic facts, division facts, or your fact families, and find something that will work. When you write your answer down, I would like you to write an expression that shows your two rounded numbers and your estimate, which would be the quotient, your estimated quotient. Let's try something a little more difficult. 5,484 divided by 71. So of course I'm going to round the divisor first, and 71 is very close to 70. So I'm going to use that as my unit, and I'm going to be paying attention to the digits in the left of my dividend. And I'm going to think of, since I'm looking for a basic fact, I'm going to think of this as a 7 instead of a 70. And I'm just going to run through my facts. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. And now when I get to 49 and 56, I'm thinking I'm pretty close to the first two digits in 5,484. And so it looks to me like I want to go for 5,600 here, because 56 is pretty close. 5,600 is pretty close to 5,484. It's certainly closer than 4,900 would be. And then I'm going to take that. I'm going to use my basic fact. So this is 56 times 100. And I'm going to divide that by 7 times 10. And I'm going to go ahead and the first thing I'm going to do is divide this by 10 to get rid of this 10. And 100 divided by 10 is 10. So now I have 56 times 10, and that's divided by 7. So that's going to be 560 divided by 7. And 56 divided by 7 is 8. And of course this is multiplied by 10, so I have to multiply that 8 by 10. And I get 80 as my estimate. 5,484 divided by 71 is about 80. And then I can go back and use my little trick if I want to, double check. And I'm dividing by a number with 1 0, so I'm going to pretend like that 0 is not there. I'll cross off the equal number of zeros in my dividend. Now I have 560 divided by 7, which would be 56 times 10 divided by 7. And 56 divided by 7 is 8, and then I multiply that by the 10 and I get 80. So I think I am feeling very confident that that is a good estimate. It's your turn again, and we're going to divide 9,215 by 95. Now the interesting thing here, of course, is that 95 is exactly halfway between 90 and 100. And normally our rule is when we have a 5 in the ones place, we would round up to 100. But I'm going to ask you to think about it. When we're estimating, really, it's kind of a flexible process. So I want you to think, would it be better to round up to 100? Would it be better to round down to 90? Or some of you may even, if you're feeling adventurous, you may even want to think about, could we just leave it as a 95 and make an estimate that way? So I want you to think about all those possibilities, decide what you want to do, and fill out the expression with your rounded dividend, your rounded divisor, and your estimate. And as you know, when you're estimating, there's not a right answer because they're not exact. So we'll see tomorrow, we'll kind of check in and see how our answers differ depending on how we chose to round that 95. So do your best. Good luck, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.